Okay, let's talk about fire suits, TJ. You want to tell everybody who you are first, who doesn't actually know you?
Yeah, for sure. I'm TJ from OG Racing. I sell fire suits and everything that racers need to go and be safe. So anything and everything for the car, driver, and everything in between. I've built race cars before selling this stuff, and I've been doing it for 20 years.
Well, all right then. So I know that most of this conversation on fire suits, Bruce says sexy alpine hat.
I saw that. Thanks,
Apparently that
buddy.
was a great choice. This one will probably be a little bit more focused on drifting, but I do have some drag racers in my queue of people, so there might be a couple other questions.
I like it.
Um, I got a little bit of everybody hanging out with us.
That's good.
So
I'm about it.
I know that one of the people in this chat right now, Miss Rachel, is due for a fire suit. And part of how this conversation came up originally last year, which it only took me a year to be like, so hey, TJ, a year later when we talked about it last year, and I didn't make it happen, so here we are.
It's here. You can't rush these things. It's all right.
So we were talking about the fact that there is one track that I go to that's in like my local loop, which is Summit Point. Summit Point Motorsport Park, even if I want to hop in as a passenger in a tandem situation, I have to have a fire suit as well. Um, the drivers have to have a fire suit, but even as a passenger, I have to have one. So I was like, well, hell, I don't need one of these things very often. And then I was like, well, if I had one, would I just use it because I could use it? And then I hate the one piece bullshit. Don't get me started on that. It's like being in a hot onesie, and I don't understand why people like those things. Um, so I know there's two pieces, and I know there's different. I'm assuming there's different like certifications, maybe like things. Rachel says she out-thicked her suit thanks to the gym. Good job, girl. Go get it.
It's not a problem. It's fine. It just means you get more suits. It's not an
There you
issue,
go.
really.
So then the question became is, okay, is there a place that we can walk into to try suits on, and then is a one piece better than the two piece? And then are there tailored suits? Can you have them tailored? Because we're all built so differently.
Right. So the easy answer is yes to both those things. You can come to OG Racing and you can try them on. There's also other suppliers that you can go and try these on if you're not
Sure.
in the Mid-Atlantic area or you don't want to fly to Dulles and try a suit on. So, but the other side of that is yes, you can have it tailored. I'm also absolutely vertically challenged, and every suit that I have is tailored because I got little stumpy ass legs and a big long torso, and every suit I have just doesn't fit. So,
Right.
yes, I always recommend, especially, I mean, and women have a totally different problem with it, right? But
Yeah.
most of the time, you could go to a suit that is a little bit too big and then tailor the issues that you have with it, whether it is bring in the waist, whether it's bring up the legs. I mean, like for me, I got all sorts of suits and things to show off. But this Alpine Star suit, we can look at it and you can see how much shorter it has to be because it killed off almost the entire Alpine Star logo when I got him for me.
Got it.
So
Got it.
I think that suit lost like 6 inches when I got it.
Rachel says she is also vertically challenged.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. It's all right.
Well, I know for me, what I ran into with the one piece was for it to fit my hips. I looked like I was swimming in the material up here because it was so large up here that like I just felt like I was constantly fighting with it.
So that happens. And Bruce said that he would like to be a custom tailor, which, good job, buddy. And I do appreciate you trying to only do it for the men. That's nice of you, buddy.
So proud.
So he's such a team player. Such a team player,
Yep.
that guy.
You got problems, he's got solutions, you know?
He does. He does. So, but what you're saying with the one piece is you're right. Like a lot of times it doesn't fit well. And especially if you have hips, the hips don't lie, right? It's a problem. It is just kind of an
Fair.
issue.
Fair.
So I think that's why you like the two piece, right? Because you could have a
Mm-hmm.
totally different size bottom than you have a top.
Yep.
And because of that, you could have a suit that just fits better for you. The only, and
Sure.
like, there's a little bit of a stigma on two-piece suits versus one-piece suits, and that
Fair.
comes directly from the road race world. So if you
Okay.
look at drag racing, lots of drag racers run two-piece suits. Drifting, lots of two-piece suits. Dirt track, lots of two-piece suits. Shit, monster trucks, boat racers, all those guys run two-piece suits. One-piece suits really happen from like that thin, tiny European build in Italy, and then it's all like from F1 type stuff, right? And then that just scaled
Sure.
down into that's what we should have, that's what we should use. And sure, the only thing I will say is that a one-piece suit will be a little safer if you have a two-piece suit that doesn't fit
Fair.
well. So like if you have a two-piece suit that rides up a little bit, you do have a little bit of exposed skin or
Right.
mid-drift for fire exposure. That is the absolute only problem that I can see with a two-piece suit. And as long as the two-piece suit fits you, then it's not an issue at all.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So with the two-piece suits, like I'm thinking back to my childhood when we had like the mittens that were attached and, the jacket within a jacket kind of deal. Is there a way for the two-piece suits to like fit together at all with like a zipper or like an extra band or anything like that?
No, they're very much two pieces, right? They're very much a jacket and
Okay.
pants.
Okay.
So just like think if you're going to go out and go into the snow, you want your pants all the way up and you want your jacket as long as you can. And most of the time for those jackets, they're pretty long, so they offer
So
good
you get the
coverage. Like,
overlap. Okay.
right. So it really isn't an issue. And I don't know why people try to make it an issue. I think it's because they just don't know better, but honestly, it's not a problem. So if you go into a place and you don't fit into a one-piece suit, then don't fucking wear a one-piece suit. It's as simple as that. Rock a
Sure.
two-piece.
Sure.
That's easy.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All right, so we got that covered. How about things that we might not think about when it comes to a suit because we've never had to worry about it?
Sure. So there's a few things, and it's going to be greatly dependent on the organization in which you are driving with or riding with, because everybody has their own standard.
Okay.
What there's going to be is there's going to be an SFI 3.31 or SFI 3.35 suit. 3.1, 3.5. And what that means is the one is a single layer suit. So most of the time, you're going to be required to wear a fire retardant undergarment as well. So you'll have to have an undergarment shirt, undergarment pants, and then that will make it a multiple layer system, making it the
Okay.
same level of protection as the thicker 3.5 suit. The 3.5 suit, for most sanctioning bodies, you're not going to have to wear the undergarment. I still recommend it. I still think it's the right choice. And I'd go on a little tangent on that. A lot of
Okay.
people will wear nylon in race cars or Under Armour or things like this that stretch. That is a terrible thing to wear in a race car because
Okay.
it hits a temperature threshold and it melts. And the only way to get it melted nylon off your skin is to have skin grafts, have it cut off and surgically removed. So you could do yourself a huge favor in motorsports and just wear cotton. If you just, it doesn't even have to be a treated cotton, just a standard 100% cotton shirt is way safer than an Under Armour shirt or a nylon shirt. Just
Interesting.
without a doubt. Like you could take just little things like that and make yourself safer in the race car. And so when I talk about undergarments, undergarments can be expensive. They can be anywhere from $60 to shit, like $300, $400 now
Okay.
for a shirt. So not everybody wants to buy extra Under Armours. Yes, Under Armour is bad. I saw the comment come in. Under Armour is awesome if you are running on a track, if you are doing athletic stuff. Under Armour in a race car is tragically bad. Nah, not sweatpants though. If the sweatpants are cotton, you're good. If the sweatpants are nylon or a blend, could be bad.
So nylon, spandex, polyester.
Right. So those are issues. And now
Okay.
we're talking a lot to ladies, right? So one of the things for you guys is bras. So having you don't want the girls to burn, be kind of a
Hadn't thought
problem.
about that.
It's an issue though, right? And it's something that women deal with specifically that obviously we don't have to deal with. But there are, Alpine Star, Sparco, they all make an athletic bra for women. Um,
Interesting.
and just because they understand, like that, the super awesome Victoria's Secret thing that looks great is not exactly fire resistant, and it's not what we really want. You know what I mean?
Yes, cotton good, nylon bad. Unless you want to have skin removed and then graft back on. apparently.
Right.
I mean, you're definitely teaching me something because even as I hop in as a passenger, I wear leggings to everything just because I have to get up and down on top of things, you know, climb over things. Leggings are just
Right.
easier to toss on. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about
Absolutely.
that.
And a lot of people do, right? Because you don't think about it. Like, because
Mm-mm.
what other aspect of your life are you worried about fire safety? None,
Yeah,
really.
sure.
I mean, like if you're cooking in the kitchen, the last thing that's going to happen is you're going to catch on fire. So, like for every other aspect of our lives, it's not an issue. Like even this shirt, like with the Under Armour type athletic shirt, it is. You won't catch me in wearing it in a race car. You might, but you just don't take a picture of me. Um,
Me need to go back
because
through
like
all my video now.
right, because I think I was wearing this at Langley
Right.
last weekend. Um, but like just do as I preach, not as as I do, I guess.
Right.
Because you're right. What happens is it's really easy to not think about it. It's really easy to just
No.
hop in a car and be like, okay, cool, I'm good. And dude, 9 times out of 10, nothing bad happens. And fire doesn't isn't a thing that we see a ton at the racetrack, but it does happen, right? Um,
Okay, so Corvette, God, for the life of me, I know your name because we were just at Grid Life and I can't think of your actual name off the top of my head. I'm so sorry. Um, he says he has an expired suit. I'm not sure what that means, so we're going to touch on that. I offer to passengers. Is that okay? Better than normal clothes?
1000%.
Okay.
So, and what you'll see, I'm trying to undo this thing here. I think
Shane, yes, Shane. Thank you. Thank you.
so. Also expired, 2009. I promise you, this suit is way, way better than a regular piece of clothing.
Clothes.
And
Yeah.
what'll happen is we don't expire suits except for within a couple series in the United States. So when you see an expiration date, it's usually an FIA expiration. So in Europe
What
and
does
other
that
parts of
mean?
the world, so yeah, so FIA is going to be the main standard they use internationally.
Okay.
In the US, we use a lot of SFI. In, in America, we think that SFI is king for certain sanctioning bodies. However, the
What do those
FIA,
stand for? The FIA and the S.
Safety Federation
Do you need me to
something
look it up? I'll look
Institute.
it up.
Yeah, look it up.
I
And
has
then
computer. I look it up.
right, and then FIA is federal something, Federation of something.
We're doing great.
It's fine. But FIA is going to be the sanctioning body that runs the rest of the world.
It's
So
basically the International Federation of Automobiles. It's like
I was like,
Federation Internationale de Automobile.
right, I was 30% of the way there. So yes, so what you'll see is in other parts of the world, because of FIA sanctioning, suits do expire. And they expire on a 10
Okay.
year from the date of manufacture, they last 10 years. That happens a lot in motorsports. You will see a lot of things that certify in timeout. That being said, it doesn't make them bad. Some things it does, right? Some things there's a reason that it times out.
Right.
But for what we're doing, for what we're talking about, a lot of times it doesn't necessarily make it bad. You have to think about it in the use case. So like if we have, so like this Alpine Star suit, this thing went out of date in 2009. This suit is like older than my daughter. But
Okay.
I promise you, we can go light it on fire and we will still be safe in it. I use it for driver changes at WRL events.
Okay.
So for somebody like that was in a passenger that didn't have a suit, if I gave them that suit to wear, that would be fine. It doesn't it doesn't really lose any of the
The
fire resistance.
the
Go ahead.
only thing that I would say would matter is depending on the track that you're at and the requirements. Because that's like also with Summit Point, we have a very specific helmet we have to wear as well too. I think it has to be 2015 or better. So whatever those
Right.
standards of quality were, kind of like we're talking about expiration, because that's what it was like 2015 and then 2020 or 2021, something like that.
Yep. And today is Happy 2025 Day because today is the very first day that SA 2025 helmets come out.
Oh, that's so funny.
So, just another little tip. And I was thinking because we have a decent amount of time here today, I figure we'll talk about fire suits, but we could also jump into helmets and whatever safety gear we want to talk about.
Yeah, I'm game for that. I'm game for that. Because I want to talk about Hans as well too. I want to understand those a little bit. See, Bruce said FD wouldn't be allowed, but grassroots and tracks, it's more exactly. And I don't think that I think for Summit Point, I don't think there's any requirements on the safety suit or the fire suit. It has to be something.
So
Um,
it's probably going to be two things. It's going to be two ratings. When they look at it, they're going to look at this 8856 FIA label. They're going to
okay.
want to see that it has that. So yeah, this suit was built in 2000. This is an old suit.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, so they're going to want to see that it has this certification, or they're going to want to see that it has this certification, and that's the SFI certification. So, and then the next thing is going to be, is it in good condition? Does the suit have holes in it? Is the zipper blown out of it? Well, can you actually put it on and be safe in it? And then the
Right.
answer is you're fine. And that holds true for pretty much everything, like Brew was saying, up until you get into the pro echelons of racing. And that is literally Formula Drift is the only thing as far as drifting goes that's going to matter. NHRA, if we're talking about drag racing, they have certain rules, but because most of the NHRA and IHRA, as far as drag racing goes, believe firmly in the SFI standard, the suits don't expire because SFI suits do not expire.
Okay.
So it's a
Okay.
mouthful. It's silly. It's one of the things where you really want to read your rule book if you're going to get into competition. But
Right.
for all track day stuff, for all like high performance driving experience stuff, all grassroots drifting stuff, pretty much everything that you're driving under 8 seconds at a drag strip, all this kind of follows within that suit.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Now, what about, so we've talked about some of the certifications. We've talked about wearing cotton underneath versus, any of like I guess you'd say man-made materials like spandex, poly, nylon, that sort of thing, because of
Right.
the heat and melt concept. Um, are there, and I guess this is kind of, what did I miss? My zipper's gonna have a blowout if I put on it. We're gonna get you a suit, man. We're searching. We're doing research. So that then brings up, I guess, too, is you're also gonna have like different tiers of luxury. And so like somebody like me, I don't really need luxury. I just need the thing that gets the job done. Whereas like Rachel might want something that has maybe a little bit more comfort or maybe a bell or whistle to make it easier to get in and out of. I don't know. Talk to me about that.
Right. Yeah. So it is a whole spectrum of suits. Suits start at about $300, $400, and they are heavy, they are thick, they are comparable to like a Carhartt style jacket. They aren't easy to
Okay.
move in, and they are the opposite of comfortable, but they are safe, and they meet
Right.
the same safety requirements as the more expensive suits. Right now, I think the top tier Sparco suit comes in at like $3,500. So
Okay.
there's a huge difference. And there is genuinely something in every price point for people from 350 to 3,500. And
Okay.
within that, hell, you could even go custom. So if you went with, so like I said, we could go with something like this. This was like one of my first suits that we had hemmed up to make it work, which was this Alpine Star suit. So this guy, 20 years old, has very few bells and whistles. You can't see
Okay.
how thick it is on the camera, but it's pretty thick. It's not very
Okay.
pliable. It's pretty coarse. It's not the most comfortable. Um, Damn, all my suits are old as shit, is what I'm realizing while we're sitting here. So this thing expired in 2011. Um, but this is a made-to-measure Sparko suit. So this was made for
Okay.
me, like 32 points in measurement to make it perfect. And it is very light. The material it's very pliable. It has a lot of other little features. So I'll try to back up here a little bit so we can kind of look at it.
Okay.
So when we look at the suit, one of the biggest things you're going to notice is these little arm gussets right here. So what happens is
Uh-huh.
this allows your arm to move and free float in the suit. So you think about a jacket where the sleeve is very much attached to the torso portion of
And
of the
bulky.
jacket. Yeah, it's bulky. So this has stretch materials inside it. So when we open this up,
Okay.
it stretches. You can move it, and because of that, you can move around. You can drive. You can do all the things inside the car without being super restricted. And then with these suits, they put stretch material everywhere. So it's got it along the torso. the back, so it gives you a little separation between the legs and the torso, so that when you're
Okay.
in the seated position, you can actually move around a little bit, and that helps a lot. It just makes it makes it feel like you're not wearing as much of the suit. So like we were talking about to Dan at the Drift Langley with some of the guys from US Drift, and one thing they were noticing on his suit is that his suit has little stretch panels everywhere. It's got them under the
Okay.
arms, it's got them in between the legs, it's got them on the back, the front, the side. And because of that, it makes it a lighter feeling suit. You don't feel as confined because you have these little pieces of material that can move and stretch independently of the other Nomex that is slightly thicker and a little bit
Hmm.
harder.
So then he
So
had a custom suit then.
no, so he had just a top of the shelf Alpine Star suit. So
Okay.
he has a GP Pro, which is kind of at the top level for Alpine Star, and it just has all
Okay.
that stuff already integrated.
Already
It's
built
got
into it. Okay.
right, like his suit has little things that it's got these little grippy pieces that hold the Hans to your suit a little bit better. It's got grips on the
Fair.
back so it holds you in the seat a little bit better. It just has a lot of little things. Another thing that
So
people talk
so
a lot about.
basically you're just saying that Dan's bougie. We all understand. We've met him.
Right. He likes the nice stuff.
He does. Dan, you still in here? I love you.
All right. So
So before we move on, talk to me about the
yeah,
custom thing. Is that something like you really need to go in and get fitted for, or is that something where at home you could just pull all the measurements that they need?
you can pull most of the measurements. And for most of the manufacturers, they have a really cool little video thing that'll walk you through each measurement to tell you
Okay.
exactly what it is. Because some of them are weird. Some of them are really in depth. Like some of them are like count down your spine to the fifth vertebrae and then measure to your sternum through your crotch. And it's like a whole fucking process. So then like they'll put up little diagrams to try and make it better, make it easier for you.
Okay.
But if you wanted to come into OG and get measured, you just schedule an appointment and I'll measure you.
Okay. Okay. Good
Um,
deal.
Another thing that we didn't really talk about on suits is you'll see a lot of suits that are either boot cut or not boot cut, and people get super
Oh,
confused on what that means.
okay.
Um, so boot cut is an American thing. It is not something anywhere else in the world.
Okay.
Um, it's because we are aesthetic little shits, and we had to be special about things, and
Of course.
maybe because of NASCAR. So this is a boot cut. So when we're wearing it, it's got like a regular old boot cut, right? This
Uh,
is where foot comes out. Underneath of it is where the actual cuff
I've seen that.
is. Right.
Okay.
So if we take this little, not be dirty, if we take this little piece off, it is just a regular suit. Then we
Yeah.
have this extra little fold here that makes it a boot
Yeah.
cut. So like if we look at
Okay.
another European suit, um, what it is just that,
Egg
right? It
tapers.
looks
Okay.
just like this, looks just like a sleeve, and it adds a little less bulk in between your legs in the foot box. So if you're in a car that has a tight foot box, boot cut is a bad choice. I think we're talking mostly people that have converted street cars, so it's not really an issue here. The
Right.
problem really comes in like prototypes and formula cars and things that have little tiny footwells where you just cannot have a whole bunch of
That's
extra
fair.
bulk and extra material.
That's
But
fair.
Americans seem to really like the boot cut nonsense. I
I
having
mean,
two
I'm gonna be honest. I like it.
right, I say nonsense. Two of the three suits that I have sitting here are boot cut, so like that it
Rachel,
is what it is.
if you have T-Rex arms, then TJ has T-Rex arms too.
Dude, my T-Rex arms are ridiculous. I am a T-Rex. It's stupid. I got stumpy little legs and stumpy little arms.
I'm pretty sure you and Rachel are the same height, to be honest with you, because
Hell,
you and I are close to the same height, and I think she's a little shorter than I am,
right?
because I'm
Yeah,
5'6".
I'm not. I'm like 5'5" on a good day, I think.
I like that. I like that. But we get you a little lift in your shoe.
It's
See
fine.
if that
It's all right.
see if they make
I,
that for your fire suit.
that's what these are for. Uh, well, she says she's not. She's taller than me.
She's
Oh,
5'4".
see, 5'4". Okay, you're so close. We're like the same. Except it sounds like you go to the gym more than I do, so kudos to that.
TJ's like, I'm working on my body.
Trying, trying. See,
J-
we're all
yep,
short here.
Jimmy. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, well, okay,
It's
so
good to
I
be
guess
short.
that brings up a whole other conversation then. So with the custom, you can get measurements based on the fact that you're short or tall. But it sounds like with a lot of the more pre-made suits, you're probably going to get way more length than you really need because they're trying to pre-make them to try to fit everybody. Or do we
Yeah,
have like a big and tall option too?
right. So if we look at suits, so like one of the suits I had pulled up here, there is 14 different sizes for a single suit, right? So you
Okay.
come in, we can get you fitted into a variety of suits. So like at this extra small size, so I have a lady suit pulled up. At the extra small size, it at its smallest goes fit somebody who's 4'11". At its
Okay.
upper size, it fits somebody who's 6'6", right? And there is everything in between. So they do it, not all companies, but a lot of the companies now are doing a numeric size, which will be from a 42 to a 64, and they do it
Okay.
in two numeric increments, and it just gets a little bigger everywhere you go. So when it comes to fitting somebody who's got a not a straight up and down board plank size, what I usually do is put them in a bigger suit and then have them get it tailored. If they don't want to go full
Okay.
custom, because full custom gets expensive, right? Like
Oh,
I
I'm
think my full
sure.
custom suit was like $3,200 or something like that, and
Sure.
that's that was dumb because all I do was mostly jump over tire walls and change tires. So it's silly to spend that much on a game mechanic suit, but it's more comfortable. But that being said, we also sell Nomex thread so that you can take your suit to any tailor and just have it tailored. So like when we were talking
Oh,
about this with my
interesting.
first suit,
Okay.
so like this was just an off the shelf Alpine Star suit, and the
Okay.
legs really were like 6 inches longer. That's why the Alpine Star logo is almost not visible anymore because that's because like yeah, the leg was this much longer originally.
RIP logo. RIP.
Right. Yeah. See, it's kind of in there hiding, but yeah. So I mean, I probably him 6 inches out of this thing because
Okay.
I was a little thick at the
You needed
moment,
to.
and I needed a thick boy suit, and a thick boy suit meant I had long ass legs.
Right. So you
So
said
that's
you
another
guys
thing.
sell thread in store?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I wouldn't,
Right.
that's yet another thing. It's kind of like having cotton under the fire suit. Like I wouldn't have even thought about that either. I would have thought you could have taken it anywhere and like just had it taken care of.
So like put it this way, in theory you could. And
Okay.
if you're just hemming the suit, okay, that's fine. If you catch on fire, what's the worst thing that happens? The hem
Sure.
comes out. All right, that's not the worst thing that happens. But if you're sewing in like new zippers and stuff, yeah, then it becomes
Hmm.
kind of a problem because if the zipper all of a sudden breaks free and now your chest is exposed to fire, well, now we have a whole different kind of issue.
Sure. Okay.
So yeah, we sell all the Nomex thread and everything for each of the suits because yeah, people need to be customized. They need it to fit slightly different. And yeah, usually with an off-the-shelf suit, because there's so many size varieties, we can get it pretty close.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned something about, like having like an extra something for the Han or like maybe a little bit of grip in the back for how you sit in the seat. Talk about a little bit of
Yep.
that too.
Right. So there is one suit right now that does that, and that's the suit that we got for Dan, and that's the Alpine Star Pro GP. And what it does, it has silicone across the chest, and what it does is so when your Hans device sits on it, it runs right here against it, and it just
Okay.
holds it in place and doesn't allow it to slide around. It's just kind of a neat little thing they've done, and it was something that Alpine started doing last year for the very first time, and it's
Okay.
neat. I'm excited for more manufacturers to do it. You're starting to see some of the manufacturers do it, not to take us completely off topic here, but you're starting to see some of the manufacturers do it on the seatbelt side of things, where the bottom of the seatbelts now have little silicone pads to hold it up
Okay.
against the Hans,
I
which
mean,
it
that makes
works
sense.
really well because some of the materials are slick. Like this Sparko suit, you can almost see how like shiny it is.
Yeah.
It's slick, right? So when you put the Hans against it, it moves around a little bit.
So I've never actually experienced a Hans. I don't have one. I honestly, I probably should. I've seen it. Most of my more pro style drivers, like Dan and Ryan, they wear one when they hop in a car, like every time they hop in the car. So, how does that work, and what is it specifically for people who don't know what a Hans is? And how did
Yeah,
it get called a Hans?
no idea. I have no
I'm
idea. I
looking
have
it
no
up.
idea why.
Okay, okay.
I think
I'm
it's
doing more research.
head and neck something. I don't know what the S stands for though.
Let's see.
Head and neck support. It says it on the back of mine.
Yes, I mean that makes sense. Actually, it's just the abbreviated version.
Right. I was like, it's for something. I don't remember
My
why it's
in-
that.
my initial thought was somebody named Hans decided that it was because that's somebody's
Right.
name.
So 100%. So the Hans kind of came to
Doing
be
great.
from a NASCAR incident in the 90s when Dale Earnhardt died. So
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
he had a not very traumatic accident that resulted in the end of his life. So he nosed a car straight into the wall. It wasn't a super hard, super fast impact. I mean, we see impacts that are 15, 20, 30 G's harder in NASCAR races these days, and people are fine. They get out, walk away, have a beer at the end of the day. It
Okay.
was just the perfect hit. And the Hans is there, and it is designed to do one thing. There is called a basal skull fracture, and it is right where the bottom of your skull meets your neck. And the Hans is there to prevent that because that is a catastrophic injury. If that
Okay.
happens, it pretty much severs everything that keeps your brain going, and it
Sure.
absolutely takes you out. So the Hans device does one thing. It stops your head moving forward in an accident where you hit head on. It does
Okay.
nothing for your side head to head. And I will explain why the Hans is not maybe right for everybody, but it is
Okay.
right for a lot of people. We'll start the conversation with saying if you want to be the safest in a car, it is containment seat. That's the seat that has the little wings on the side of your head, and a
Yeah, yeah.
Hans device. That is going to do the best to mitigate movement in the event of an accident. Because
Okay.
the other thing about a Hans device, it is a frontal head restraint. It only stops your head from moving forward.
Because of the
And
way it sits.
right, so you throw it over your shoulders, and it sits here. Your harnesses go from your cage down here, and then it has little straps. These little straps come over, they'll hook to the helmet. So like these straps, is another misconception is that you wear a Hans device, you can't move your head side to side. But all new Hans devices slide. So it used to be true. Once upon a time, the Hans device, would have been bolted to the back, and you'd only had about 15 to 20 degrees of motion between your head going side to side, which I think
Okay.
we can all agree for anybody that drifts in the room, that does not work for you because you have to
Sure.
be able to look over your shoulder when you have a lot of angle in the car. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So, which is one of the things we talked a lot about at Langley, actually, is there's a couple people that were still nervous that even with a new Hans, they weren't going to be able to move their head. And these
Okay.
straps, they move really far side to side. So when you're
Let's see.
wearing the Hans device and it's hooked to your helmet, it allows you to move your head that far. So like,
Okay.
you know, it's it's pretty far. Like it really doesn't restrict motion. And the only thing that it's here for is to stop the frontal, right? So harnesses go across, got the back piece, strap goes to your helmet. In the event of a forward impact, it catches your neck, and that's it. That's the only
Okay. See,
thing,
so that your head doesn't do this bit, it just kind of like allows you to go. Okay.
right? So let's see if we can just like totally block myself out here real quick. So if we grab helmet, this guy just clips on the helmet. So if we've never
Okay.
seen a Hans in action, this is what it does, right? It just sits there.
Okay.
In the event of an accident, the Hans should stay forward, and the helmet's going to grab, and it's going to stop your neck from literally breaking.
Okay.
That's that's what it's there for. It's a really simple device. The price is not crazy anymore. I mean, you can go crazy. Like, I got the super bougie carbon one because I work in the industry and I get all these special little freebie gifts from people.
Don't tell people that.
But hey, come work at OG Racing, man. There's perks to my job.
Br- Brian's now questioning his career choices.
Right. You're right. You don't have to do what you do, buddy. Your job doesn't sound that great. It sounds terrible some days. But yeah, so you can have a carbon fiber one. They're lighter. They're a little bit more comfortable. They're not more comfortable. That's like another thing that a lot of people will say is that because they're lighter, they are more comfortable. They're fucking not. Because at the end of the day, you're going to grab this fucking harness, you're going to cinch your harness down, and it's going to put the same amount of pressure on your shoulders and your back, whether it
Sure.
weighs 1 pound or 40 pounds. So this guy's pretty light, but they also do a carbon composite version. The carbon composite version, I think, is like $380 right now. It's under $400. And so
Okay.
for under $400, you could have a lot of extra security in the race car. Um, that being said, this dude only works with harnesses. So if you don't have a 5 or a 6 point harness in your car, the Honda
There's
doesn't
no
really
point.
work for you.
That's fair.
Um, Now that is where the next part of this conversation goes, and that's the Simpson Hybrid S. So there are a
Okay.
couple different Simpson hybrids. The Simpson Hybrid S FIA version is the only one that is certified to work with 3 point harnesses.
All
So
right.
for people that are getting, I wish I had one here. I don't have. Nope, I don't have it here. I have one just sitting at the office.
Okay.
For people that are getting in and out of a lot of cars, that
Okay.
have maybe harnesses or maybe have 3 point harnesses or 5 point harnesses, or there's just a variety of different restraint systems in cars. So it really became a thing for driving instructors. It was originally invented for test drivers for
Okay.
factory cars. So like GM, when they started coming out with these crazy 900 horsepower Corvettes and stuff, they wanted their test drivers to be safer, but they didn't want to go retrofit cages in all these brand new cars. So they worked with Simpson to create a hybrid that would work and still give neck support. The hybrid's kind of cool because so the hybrid's neat, but it also at the same time might not be the best choice for some drifters.
Okay.
And the reason it is because it has tethers. So where that the Hans has a tether that just goes from the back, the hybrid has a tether that goes from the back as well as from this part of your shoulders up. So it controls lateral movement. So if you're in a car
Okay.
that doesn't have a containment seat and you get into a side impact, the device is going to help stop the lateral movement of your head. So it is an omnidirectional device to where you can have frontal head restraint, you have side head restraint, you have
Okay.
diagonal head restraint. It does the it does the best for everything, but it does restrict your movement a little bit.
That's fair.
Um, and it was designed that way. It was, because you can't have total free range of motion and not expect to have a strain in your neck. So they're
Sure.
adjustable. What'll happen is when we sell them, we'll put people in a race seat in the office and they'll sit there and we will go through and we'll have you stretch your neck. And what we'll do is we will lock the tethers in right before you reach a strain point in your neck. So we'll hold you
Okay.
forward, and once you get to the point of strain, we'll bring you back and we'll lock it in right there. Because what we want is we want the helmet to stop before your neck ever gets to a point of fatigue so that we're not tearing muscles, we're not tearing ligaments, we're not having basal skull fractures, and we want things to be kept tight. That is the best device for people that are in a regular, not containment seat, and that are going to move between cars, right? That have different style restraint systems.
Right. Right.
It's the best jack of all trades device for sure. I don't think it's the best. That's still
Yeah.
my honest opinion. Because I still am a firm believer that a containment seat in a Hans device it's the best choice. It
Sure.
is it
I
is
mean
the
that
right
that
choice.
makes the most amount of sense from the conversation that we've had today is because like Brew has his seat for the driver's seat has is the containment seat.
Yep.
But Bruce said TJ's talking about the Savage Special. He's always in multiple race cars in a weekend. But most of the cars he
Right.
gets into have a containment seat because most of the cars he's hopping into are specifically set up for drifting in such a manner.
Right. Yeah, and the thing is you'll see a lot of cars that don't. And it just depends, man. You just have to think about the use case. What are you going to be doing? There's not a number one perfect answer for all of it. It has to be what
Oh
you're
yeah,
doing,
absolutely.
what you're going to
Absolutely.
be doing the most. The same reason, like you don't need a $2,000 helmet, but
Right.
it's nice. It's lighter. It's got a
Sure.
lot of cool features, but at the same time, it goes through the exact same impact testing that a $500 helmet goes through.
Right. It
So,
just has more bells and whistles.
right, like, and we'll talk about helmets. We'll move into that in a bit because I think that's good for
Okay.
people because I think that, you know,
Agreed.
there's a lot of options there as well.
It all ties
But
into
right,
safety.
it does. But I think when we're talking about the head and neck restraint stuff, that's the name of the game. And I think everybody needs something, right? I think there are, I know drifters aren't in love with it. And I guess I will go on what I like to say to organizers. If we're under 35 miles an hour and we're not going to exceed 35 miles an hour, it might be okay to not have a head and neck restraint. With one caveat, that there is no terminating barrier. So a terminating barrier is somewhere that you can hit a barrier with your car on the end of the barrier. So think Jersey wall, if there's an opportunity to run into the end of it, because they
Yeah,
don't move when you do that, right? So
I got you.
if we're in a parking lot and there's nothing around to hit, there's a reason that like in autocrosses and a lot of other amateur sports, you don't need them because
Okay.
if there's nothing to hit, then there's nothing to hit, right? It's okay. But the moment that we start going into places where there are things that you can run into hard, it's kind of important, man. Like, shit happens. And I know we don't want shit to happen, but like, ball joints break, hubs break, wheel bearings break, shit
Right.
breaks.
You
So,
can't
like,
control everything.
no, not at all. We need to make sure that, like, as organizers or as people that are advocates for safety, that we are taking that stuff serious because it's really easy to hop into a car and just not take it serious. Oh,
Yeah,
it's never going to happen to me. I'm not going to wreck my car this run. Sure, you
sure.
might be right. Or your ball joint might break and you might run right into that barrier.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Well,
That's not what we want to happen.
that's why we have the superstition of you're not allowed to say one more time. We're gonna go again.
Right, right, right. No, agreed. So I mean, that's kind of my little diatribe on head and neck restraints. I think they're
Okay.
absolutely important. If you are going anything faster than 35 miles an hour, it's imperative. Like it shouldn't even be a question. It's $400. Live to go race another day.
Right, right. I gotcha. Okay. All right. So we talked about the Hans. I guess we should probably segue into the helmet since the Hans attaches to the helmet. But I do also want to talk about the harnesses too, because the harnesses drive me crazy. I have been in so many different cars with so many different types of the
Right,
harnesses. That's why I actually wear a hoodie every time I get in, is so that I can fold the material over the harness, because otherwise the harness is like right here. So,
right. So most people don't put harnesses in correctly. I would say
really?
even a lot of qualified shops don't put harnesses in correctly. It's really unfortunate.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but it's just the fact of it. It comes with a little owner's manual. It tells you exactly where to mount the damn thing. People just can't be bothered to open the little book and do it the correct way. Um,
Well, I mean, I'm going to say men are usually the ones installing them, and they don't like instructions. They don't want to be told what to do.
nope, we just do whatever the hell we want.
I
And
can figure it out. It's fine.
right, it's just six bolts. How can I fuck six bolts up? Well,
Right?
I bet you can. I bet you can. But yeah, let's talk harnesses first, because
Let's talk about it.
we could talk
Let's
about
talk about
whatever.
it.
But yeah, I'm down with harnesses. So 6-point harnesses are the best, without a doubt. See,
Jimmy.
but they don't like that
Jimmy.
instruction book. Fuck that little book. So I don't like 5-point harnesses. People assume
Okay.
that with a six people assume with a 6-point harness that there's
Explain.
going to be
So
yeah.
explain what it looks like. Explain what that looks like.
Right. So 6-point, supposed to do 5-point first. What two,
Okay.
1, 2, and then on the lap, 1, 2, and then between your legs, 1. Right?
Yeah.
So you have a single strap that comes up from the bottom underneath the seat up to the cam lock or the latch
Right.
and link. Don't buy a fucking latch and link. Just don't do
I
it.
fucking hate those things with a passion.
They're nonsense. If you can't afford a cam lock, don't go driving your damn car at the racetrack. There, I said it.
Can I call out Kylie on that, because he has the ancient one with the hook and then the. I don't know if he's changed it since I hate it. Every time I get it, I'm like,
Suck.
Oh, that's right. You got this thing.
Those things have one place and one place only, and that is in like
Okay.
mud trucks, rock crawlers, off-road vehicles, things that can literally get impacted with mud. Because sure,
Okay.
if that's what's happening and we are getting mud on our lap, then sure, the cam lock might fail
Okay.
because of dirt intrusion. But if you're
That's
not
fair.
taking a bath in mud, just get a cam lock.
Okay.
Like simple as that. And like that's kind of why they exist, right? Like they
Yeah,
exist for that purpose, but because they're so cheap, people will put them in everything. But
it's
fuck,
fair.
just don't. Just don't. So back to a five. What makes a 5 point, a 6 point, a
Hmm.
7 point, a 9 point? Because now there's 9 points.
Okay.
Um, so it's all about the mounting point. So the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mounting point is how many mounting points it has to the chassis of the car. So
Okay.
there's also a 4 point. Fuck, don't do that either. That's why we're talking shit about what you should and shouldn't do. Don't buy a 4 point harness. There is a reason the one goes between your legs. So the one
Uh-huh.
between your
I've been a
legs,
couple of
or
those.
right, they're just not as good. There's a problem. There's a reason they were designed differently, right? So like,
As you
ah,
slide out.
fuck. So what? You're exactly right. So what that's called is an anti-submarine belt. And what that
Okay.
happens is under the event of a hard impact, your body goes on the seat and down underneath your harnesses. And all of a
I
sudden, now
can
your
see it.
body's not restrained. So whether you're
Yeah.
wearing a fucking Hans device, you're wearing everything that you're supposed to be, if your body can still slide to the floorboard, oh, fuck, that's not great. Might as well just wear the 3 point
Yeah.
harness. And firm believer in that. If you're going to buy a 4 point harness, just don't. Just don't. It's unnecessary.
Okay.
So buy a five. At a minimum, buy a five. And that's going to
Is there
be
a
one here.
huge is
Yeah.
there a huge cost difference between the three, four, and five? Or do you think it's just a comfort level thing as to why people do it?
It's a comfort thing, right? So
Okay.
the big price increase comes from going from latch to link to cam lock. There's about $100 increase on that. Not even necessarily. It just depends on which ones you're buying. I would
Okay.
say at the bottom line, you're probably I think 299 on sale. You can usually get the G Forces on sale for 299 for the cam lock
Okay.
5 point, and then upper we can go $600-700 on some of the nicer Schroth and Takata and Saybelt stuff.
Okay.
Um, but there's a reason, and we'll talk about why there's a reason that they're seven
Okay.
hundred dollars. It's because they're better. Ultimately, like everything, there's a reason they're a little bit better. So if we go, that being said, I really like the $300 G-Force. I think the $300 G-Force will save a lot of lives because people can afford them.
Right.
Um, and they're getting better, man. Like there was a time that they weren't that great, but they're getting better and better constantly.
Okay.
And that's why they are our economy harness. That's why they are the brand that we chose to go with because
Hmm.
they're really not bad. Like
Okay.
and every time they get certified, they get a little bit better. Um, so going from 5 to 6 point, I don't think there's any price increase. Like if it is, it's very small. I mean, I'm pretty sure the 5 point and the 6 point entry level economy harness from G-Force is the same price, almost positive.
Okay.
And but then what you'll see is the 5 point goes away. Like once you get past like $400, 5 point goes away because everybody at that point has already come to the conclusion that 6 point is actually better.
Okay.
And that's going to be whether you're a man or a woman. And it's interesting. Dudes think that because there's going to be two straps, there's going to be more going on between their legs and it's going to be less comfortable. It's just not the way it works. Because when they're installed properly, the sub belts, the bottom two, three harness right here that go on the very bottom of the chassis are the ones that get installed incorrectly the most. So most
Okay.
of the time, people will put them so they go straight down. So like you get the little hole that's in the bottom of the seat, the provision for the harnesses to pass through. People will bolt those right there. And what happens is the harness pulls straight down. It's not what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to pull back. Technically, like if you look at the diagram, it's supposed to bolt roughly under where your ass is, right? So it's supposed to
Okay.
bolt 3, 4, 5 inches back from where that hole is because it's supposed to come around your pelvis and wrap back around so that it's pulling you
Okay.
deep into the seat. It's not just holding you down. It's not there just to catch you in case shit happens. It should, in a properly installed harness, actually serve a function, and that is to wrap around your legs and secure your pelvis into the bottom of the seat and hold you tight
Okay.
into the seat. It's a lot of times like you'll hop into a car and you'll cinch all your harnesses down, and then all of a sudden the cam lock is off of your stomach, or it rides in a weird place, and it's completely because that bottom harness set is bolted in the wrong place and bolted too far
Okay.
forward. Fuck, I've seen people bolt them in front of the fucking seat and then wrap them up. And I'm just, what the fuck are we doing here, guys? I'm also a tech inspector.
Not reading the instructions is what they're doing.
Right. So I'm also a tech inspector for SECA, and like I write log books and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I get to see all the fucking garbage that people like to try and do and bring. And sure, it's easier to not take your seat out and just bolt it right in front of it, but it's not right. There's a reason that it's
Yeah.
supposed to be this way. So 5 point I don't like. I think 5 point is the most uncomfortable of all of them because it does genuinely ride right into a sensitive area, right?
Right.
The 6 point, because it comes off the cam lock and it comes across in a V, it kind of wraps on the inside of your legs more, and it
Okay.
doesn't necessarily put a lot of pressure on your sensitive areas. It's
Okay.
just more comfortable, right? Um, we're not, I'm gonna say just because we're talking about them, you're never probably gonna see a 7 point harness, but a 7 point harness is where there's three straps in between your legs, and there's
Okay.
one that goes down the center, and then there's two that wrap around your pelvis. It's
Okay.
more of a circle track thing. It's more of a NASCAR thing. You don't see them a lot, and I've never seen one in a drift car. I see them very infrequently in anything other than the higher levels of NASCAR.
Okay.
And I said nine. I'll go ahead and say why I said nine. Nine is there's two harnesses per shoulder. So you have one harness that goes over your shoulder, then your Hans device goes on top of that harness, and then another harness that goes over your Hans device.
Okay.
So that you have one harness that's securing your torso, and then the Hans device or head and neck restraint will sit on top of that, and then another harness will sit on top of that. So then you end up with four shoulder harnesses.
Okay.
Um, it's kind of a lot, but it's in a really high G impact. Like we were talking 200-mile-an-hour crashes for NASCAR, so like that's where that comes from, is because they want to make
Right.
sure that they can mitigate the body moving as well as the heart as well as the torso moving. So like they're studying 70, 80 G impacts. Like the shit's crazy the amount of stress that they
Right.
put on those. But for what we're doing, 6 points the name of the game.
Yeah. Jimmy even said he's like he never even knew there was a 7 point.
Right. Like, and you say 9 point, and people look at you like you have fucking three heads, and they're like, I have no idea what you're even talking about right now. Um,
Well, because in their mind, where are you attaching that to? Because they usually get
yeah,
attached to the
because you're
roll
like, how many
cage.
straps do you have?
Yeah. It's like, where else are you gonna put that thing on my body?
Right. So yeah, so that's where so at most they run three substraps, and it's just to keep you sucked into the seat because again they're talking these big G hits.
Sure.
And then for the nine, there's a couple, but it's becoming more popular to have four shoulder harnesses. Because even some of the 6 points for sports cars, they're starting to see a couple of them where they're doing an individual strap for the head and neck restraint because it makes sense, right? Because you keep your body tight and then you put the head and neck restraint on, and then you have another individual harness just for the head and neck restraint. It makes sense. It makes getting in and out of the car a little harder because you do have more straps to contend with. That being
Okay.
said, these two straps we'll talk. So if we have a seven or an eighth and a ninth point right here, they are still hooked together. So like you don't have all of these different ones going into the cam lock. So both the shoulders,
Okay.
while there's two attachments that they look like a V, right? So the head and neck restraint sits in the V and then goes over it. So there's four attachments on the roll cage, but there's still only two
Okay.
attachments on the cam lock.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay.
Um, and then from there, it's all about weight savings. It's about material. For me, I really like the Takata harnesses right now. Takata and Schroth. A lot of people, there's a little bit of a bias that Takata is not good because of the whole airbag debacle a few years ago. Um, but that is no longer a thing. Takata isn't the Takata harness set is no longer owned by the Takata airbag brand. It is now owned by Schroth Germany, which
Oh,
makes
okay.
a lot of
We were
the
talking about
Porsche
that at Langley, right?
right.
I feel like we were
And
talking
when
about
you
that at Langley.
We were for sure. And when you grab them, they're really nice material now. They're very soft, they're very pliable. Like they feel like the same stuff that they make regular OEM harnesses out of. Like it's a soft, nice, pliable material. It feels good against the body. They're really nice. The cam locks so the next thing is as price increases, the cam locks just get nicer,
Okay.
and it's it's a user thing, right? It's not that it is exponentially. Some of them do get kind of light. Some of them they really do a nice job of using like magnesium parts and stuff to make the cam locks really light. But
Okay.
mostly it's a feel thing, right? Like everybody has a tactile preference on what they like. So
Sure.
if we look at those G-Force ones are nice, but they're like a little notchy. So like you'll grab it and it feels fine. It's okay. But then if you look at the Sawbelt one, so I have Sawbelt in my car. I know I say that I like Schroth and Takata, but I have Sawbelt in my car because that's what ended up happening. Um, the Sawbelts are like buttery smooth. When you turn them, they just feel right. They have an extra detent that holds them open so that when you click them open, they stay open so that when you get back in the car, you actually have to you have to flip the cam lock back to a closed position. I like a cam lock that has a hold open feature. What that
Okay.
means is when you turn it to a certain point and you release the cam lock, it stays released. So like in the event of an emergency, if you in the event of an emergency, if all of a sudden you are trying to get out of the car and you grab the cam lock, but you don't twist it and hold it long enough and you don't get all of the harnesses out of it, you might still
Yeah,
have one that's hooked in there, right?
that's fair.
For the for the hold open, when you go to a point, it holds it open, keeps all of it released so that you can just throw the harness off and get out of the car. So I like
Right.
a harness that has a hold open feature. That's something that kind of comes in at like the $500 and up price point. And it's just because there's more mechanism inside the cam lock. It just makes it a more complicated unit. But I do
Okay.
like that. I think from a safety standpoint, there's a lot of validity in why that's important. Is it required? Absolutely not. I wish that all the manufacturers would incorporate that into their cam locks, but I do understand that it's just more features. It's more moving parts. It's more things to fail. So, there's concern about doing that at the lower price point.
Okay. All right. Well, so is there anything else we should cover about harnesses, or should we move on to helmets?
We should talk about adjusters quick. So I know that one thing that you'll see a lot is just the ease of adjustment. When you go and you pull, when you cinch down on the shoulders or you cinch down in the laps, for
The
some
lap is
cars
the
that you get
hardest
it in,
one.
right, and it's because a lot of times it's in a bad place. So when you look at when you're buying harnesses, you'll see some that say pull up, pull down, or endurance style. I think pull up and pull down should all just get thrown in the trash and should go away forever. And every harness should be
Okay.
the endurance style because the endurance style belt is the best belt, period. So what happens is
Well, now I'm
the
wondering, I
adjuster
was going to say, now I'm wondering if I've actually seen an endurance one because a lot of the ones, so
you have,
you have
but
somebody
then
super skinny who hops in a car, and then I get in and I'm like, all right, we got to pull these things out. And then I'm trying to now cinch it down because I've overexpanded it. But then you can't reach it because you have to pull on one direction to pull on another direction. So, yeah,
yep.
okay.
Have
Endurance.
you ever
Talk to me.
have you ever ridden in Dan's car?
I have not actually. I have.
What is
It's funny.
wrong with you?
I know it's so funny. I have been in the passenger seat with Dan driving, but not in Dan's car.
That's hilarious. So next time you're near Dan's car, look
Okay.
at those harnesses in Dan's. Dan's got the
Okay.
endurance style harness. So what happens is
Okay.
at the cam lock, I keep reaching down here to like show you, but obviously that doesn't work. Um, so at the cam lock, God, yeah, I don't have any harnesses in here. The adjuster is right at this cam lock. So it's not downstream from the cam lock. It's not on
Okay.
the
Okay.
bottom.
Okay.
The adjuster's right here. So what you do is you just pull straight out from the cam lock and it cinches
Oh,
the
I
lock
like
down.
that.
Oh,
I
it's
don't think I've
so much
seen that yet.
better. It is the way every harness should be designed. I don't know why we still do it the other way. It's so much better. I can't for the life of me know why anybody wants something that's not that. I mean, even like I think GeForce has one now for like $400 that you can have it like that. It is without a doubt the nicest. And yeah, like Mark said, that's what we have in our company car. Um,
Okay.
and it's so much better. It's so easy to adjust. But yeah, you can't go
Yeah,
wrong.
I don't think I've seen it that way. I've always seen the ones where they're like at the floor, and then
Right.
a lot of them you're supposed to push on the buckle and then pull on the strap so that you can get that release. And
Yeah,
I can't tell you how many times I've gotten in a car and I'm like, give me a minute, because like you're trying to wiggle it because you can't reach it because you've strapped yourself in, because that's the whole point is you're strapping yourself in and then you can't reach it.
Right. Right, exactly. So that's why the endurance style is the best. So the endurance style came from doing quick driver changes for endurance
Okay,
racing. So because they
sure.
have we call it driver valet. It's a position that I hold on teams quite often, and you're the guy who's helping drivers in and out of the car quickly, and you're the
Yep,
one manipulating the harnesses. So the
yep,
faster you can do that, the faster you're back on the racetrack. So why
sure.
we don't just make all harnesses that way? Fuck, I don't know.
That's
It should be
interesting.
that way. What you're saying is where there's like a cantilever style where you have to kind of pull up on the harness and then release it.
Mm-hmm.
So I like
Yeah,
that.
because like the ones in Brew's car drive me crazy. The ones at the floor. So the upper is fine. Like you can pull and you're good. And then when you go to release, you can just like pull up on
Yep.
the latch. But the ones on the floor are hard to get to, and then it's almost like they twist. So dang it, TJ, why didn't you sell me endurance style?
Might not have been a thing yet, buddy. Might not have been a thing yet. Your
Put
next
it
step,
on the
though.
list, Brew. Put it on the list.
Right,
2026
right,
upgrade.
right after the LS swap, man.
Oh my
LS
God, you
swap
guys in the
first.
LS swap. Poor Brew. Poor
He's
Brew.
fine.
Everywhere we go.
He just
Everywhere.
needs like 200 more horsepower.
Just 200.
Oh, love you,
All
buddy.
right. So yeah, that's my hang up sometimes with the harnesses because I help passengers in and out sometimes too. So
Right,
me controlling it from the outside is different than me sitting in the seat to then try to control it. It's very
for sure.
different.
Okay, fine.
Heads, cam, intake, 150 wheel, extra all day. I'm not
Okay,
saying the
well,
other word.
then do that. That's fine.
He's waiting for the engine to go. That's what it is. He's going to run that engine until the engine dies at this point.
It it's a fucking 5.0. It's gonna go forever.
I think
Uh,
that's what he's prepared for.
right.
All right. So harnesses, endurance harnesses are the best, and I now have to go track one down and check it out because I don't think I've seen one yet. Like I said,
Yep.
the that latch one, like I understand they're usable, but they're such a bitch. I'm always
They
afraid I'm
suck.
gonna break a fingernail or pinch my finger or any number of
Right.
things.
They're unnecessary. They've got, like I said, they've got no
Yeah.
place outside of a dirty condition.
All right. What's
Firm believer
next?
in that. Let's whatever we want to talk about. We can talk about helmets. We could talk about gloves. We could talk about shoes. You tell me where you want to
Let
go.
let's do helmets and then we'll do gloves and shoes because gloves are definitely one of those things I don't think a lot of people think about because people are just like grab gloves. But we talked about that while we were at Langley too, like all like the different things. Play date at
Right.
OG.
Right. Just come hang out with us. We we got some of the U.S. drift guys coming by this Friday to get stuff.
Oh, it figures. I have to go down to Midlothian.
Ah, lame.
Well, I actually have to go down for I don't know if well, I can say why I'm going down, but I'm not allowed to say all of it. I have to go do some photography actually for drifters who have another business. I have to do photos for the other business for a particular event, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say why yet because it's special. So,
Ooh,
but that's why I can't come on Friday. Otherwise, I'd go on Friday.
super
Just
secret
hang out.
mission.
It's really not that big a deal, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say anything.
I mean, I get that. I get a lot of about that. I haven't been allowed to talk about SA 2025 helmets until today, so that's all good.
All right, lay it on
So,
us.
all right. So with helmets, as today, October 1st, 2025, is the very first day that some SA 2025 helmets are available. That being
Okay.
said, it's literally two of them. There's two models of Stilo helmets that are available right now. The
Okay.
rest of them are incoming. We will have them in the next month, 2 months. It just depends on the manufacturer and the timeline. You will see some of our competitors actively advertising that they have all of them. That's horseshit. Hope you're watching. But that being said, the 2020 helmets are great. And what you'll see is for most organizations, they allow 2 certification cycles to be relevant. So
Okay.
up until today, it was 2020 and 2015. Moving
Well, that
forward
means I need
next
a new
year,
helmet.
lame. What,
It means
come
I have a
come see us.
2020. I have a 2015. It means I need
Yeah,
a new
that's
one.
out. That's no more of
Sad
a thing at
face.
the end of this year. Yep. It's time for
Everybody always wants my
retirement.
money, TJ. Everybody always
I
wants my money. I don't know how I feel
I
about
know. I
it.
capitalism at its best.
Welcome to
Um,
America.
yep. That literally that.
Yeah,
So for helmets, I we Brew and I debate on this open face versus closed face for drifting a lot. You
I
will
get it. I get it.
there's 100 pictures of me rocking an open face at Langley. Um, and it was fine, right? Like I don't wear an open face helmet often. That was
Mhm.
probably the first time in a long time there's a picture of me in an open face helmet. That being said, it sure was nice having the breeze in your face and just chilling.
Oh yeah.
So like I don't know. I being a guy who drives rally stuff, most rally guys run open face helmets because they're in windows are up, closed cockpit, like there's nothing coming in. I will say, even
Yeah.
cruising around with Dan, well, I think we were chasing Ryan around at Langley. I had a shitload of rubber all up in my face, even with sunglasses on.
Uh-huh.
And it's fine. You got to be careful of that shit though. So Ryan and I were also talking about what the right thing is for his passengers, and he's a firm believer, especially coming from road racing, that full face is the way to go for him. And ultimately, when we're talking about safety, I agree. Full face is going to be the safest. So full face being that you have a chin bar, you have a shield, you actually have full coverage on the front of your face. Open face looks very much like a fucking mountain bike helmet, right? Like
Yeah.
there's nothing for your face. A lot of places will let you run an open face. I don't disagree with it. So I kind of go with the Hans device thing, right? Like if you're at an event to where a Hans device isn't required because you're going 30 miles an hour, it's probably okay to run an open face. Do I like that? Not necessarily. Like fuck a lot of helmets around here. I have no open face helmets. I've
I'm gonna
always
come shopping at your house. That's what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna come shopping at
right.
your house. Guarantee there's a helmet
Let's see.
there.
There's
You'll never know
one,
it's
two,
missing.
three, four. I have 6 helmets in arm's reach. And I think, oh God, some of them are getting old. I think most of them are expired at this point. But that being said, helmets range from price a lot, right? So everything that you're looking at right now, we still have a whole host of inventory of SA 2020 helmets, and that's going to go until next year. I
Okay.
think the cutoff date for manufacturing of a SA 2020 helmet is March 6, 2026,
Okay.
and that will be when the last 2020 helmet goes off of manufacturing.
Production.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. And then it will be all SA 2025 moving forward. That being
Okay.
said, because you're looking for a new helmet, it might not be a bad time to buy an SA 2020 helmet because come the end of this year, you're going to see a lot of them go on sale
Sure.
because the 2025s are coming out. We talk a little bit about why helmets get more expensive. Let me grab this one behind me. Oh,
I love that you have examples. I'm not gonna lie. I appreciate the examples.
right, right. So this is one of my older helmets. This is more of a basic helmet, all fiberglass,
Okay.
but it's got some little aero add-on stuff from when I was racing karts. So why do we want fiberglass over carbon? Why do we want carbon over fiberglass? It's 100% weight and it's 100% budget. So
Okay.
all of my new helmets are carbon. I get a discount on carbon helmets, so I buy carbon helmets.
Okay.
Simple as that. Is it safer? Maybe a little. If you're racing in something like a go-kart or something where you have the option to slam your head into the ground, yeah, but that's why my karting helmet's carbon because
Right.
you might fucking face plant on the ground, and that's not great. Um, but that being said, these things are all rated roughly the same, right? So they all go through the
Okay.
exact same exact testing. The only difference is a lot of times the carbon shell will exceed the testing, where the fiberglass
Okay.
meets the testing. If that makes sense. So
Hmm.
it's not that either one of them are not safe or that neither one of them are going to put you in danger because fiberglass helmet, they've been around for a long time. They're really good at making them.
Sure.
They're just a little heavier, right? So like this guy's a little heavier than the carbon helmet I have next to me. A couple things that we can talk about that not really a huge thing for your guys is aero devices. So people see them, they have no idea why they're there or what they're there for. So this helmet's got three of them. It's got a front scoop, little top piece, and then it's got this back wing. And it's the same exact aerodynamic stuff that your car goes through. So your head in the wind, if it's not aerodynamic, at about 150 degrees, if your head is exposed to wind, you start getting a lot of this, and your head moves around, and as you that it sucks. Your eyes literally bounce in your head, and you can't see anything. It's terrible. So front little gurney holds the helmet down. Back little gurney creates a low pressure area and just allows the helmet to slide through the air. That's all it is.
Okay.
For
So that kind of
drifting,
reminds me, I was going to say that kind of reminds me of like my motorcycle helmets. My motorcycle
right.
helmets have had something very similar to that, but we can't use a motorcycle helmet at a drift track. Now, grassroots will
You
let you
want
get by with
do,
pretty much anything, but like a legit track,
do you know why?
I'm waiting.
It's
You're the guy.
super easy.
Okay.
So it's not fire resistant. It's
Okay.
simple as that. A
Okay.
motorcycle helmet will absolutely take the impact. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, don't be wrong.
Okay.
I will say SA rating versus DOT rating. The SA rating is more stringent, so like they are
Sure.
safer helmets. But like at a point, there is the DOT helmet. We're talking like the nice shoe berth, bike helmets and stuff. They're just as good. They are very safe, very nice helmets, but there are some really bottom of the barrel DOT helmets out there that get around, and it's kind of crazy.
Jimmy, that's why I mentioned it. There are some
Hey,
places you can get away with it.
and that's right. So like the biggest difference is that the interiors are going to be usually made out of nylon, and they're going to be usually made
Yeah.
for air transfer versus fire retention. So with So new 2025 standard is when your helmet is exposed to fire for 30 seconds, the interior cannot be above 70 degrees Celsius. Simple as
Okay.
that. A motorcycle helmet will not do that. That bitch will melt to your face. It,
I believe it.
like,
Yeah, I believe it.
and that,
Well, that's kind of like what
and
we were talking
that's the
about
big
with
difference.
what you wear under your fire suit, or even if you didn't have a fire suit on, the nylon, spandex, polyester sort of deal.
Right. And it's
Okay.
why motorcycle helmets are so comfortable. It's why they feel so light. It's why they feel airy. It's why they
Yeah,
feel like you can breathe in them, like because that's
makes
what they were
sense.
designed for. And your ass is not going to catch on fire on a motorcycle. And if you do, get the fuck off. Like,
Right.
right?
Well, you've probably already been launched off of it anyway, so.
Right, right. So that's like when we talk motorcycle rating versus automotive rating, that's the biggest thing is fire resistance. We just don't want
Okay.
it to melt. Simple as that. So
Okay.
and DOT doesn't have a fire resistant rating because it's not what it should never be subject to that.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So like yeah, aerodynamic helmet versus more of a closed cockpit helmet, which is going to be this guy.
Okay.
It's Rook's Pininfarina. It's a really cool helmet. It is, if we look at it close, it's Kevlar, it's carbon, it's got a pretty neat little
Oh, I
mix.
see.
I feel really good about slamming my head into something with this thing. It's arguably one of the nicest helmets I've owned for sure. It's got like fancy red interior, whatever. It's nice. But why does this helmet cost $2,200, $2,100? Because of all the options. So simple
Okay.
as that. The other helmet, I think $899 for the GP3. This dude is it's kind of like the Pinnacle, right? So the Pininfarina, the Stilo, the Schuberth, and the upper echelons of Bell are about as good as you can get in a helmet.
Okay.
Yeah, I did say Pininfarina. Yes, like the Ferrari designer, a 100%. Here, see, Pininfarina. Yes, same exact designer, same exact design firm that does that is the people that designed this helmet. So what makes it cool? It has built-in communications, which is nice. It's
Okay.
got built-in drink tubes, which is cool, right? So you can wire in communications in just about any helmet. But when you
Sure.
get to the top level helmet, it's really nice because they put these little bump outs in it. They make it so that you can add all of these things very easily. So you connect your electronics for your radio here, you connect your drink bottle here so that you have all these things in the car. This
Okay.
one it was removed because we weren't going to use it, but it has a cooler in it so that you can run two tubes from a cooler into little plastic veins inside the helmet, and it pumps ice water all along the helmet to
Right.
keep your head cool. So like you'll see cool shirts and stuff. This is the exact same theory as that.
Okay.
I didn't opt for it in this helmet. So 'cause I don't run anything that ever has that. I'm not that fucking bougie, I guess. But what you could do is you click these guys in there, and then you have almost the entire helmet. Yes, you want this. You want this.
All of
um,
it.
right. It's why it's one of the reasons I ended up with this helmet. I really like this helmet. Um,
Yeah.
and when you start getting up in price, like it'll come with Hans anchors, it'll come with all the things. It was also a forced air helmet. So one thing that you're starting to see more and more drifters run is forced air in their helmets so that they can deal with tire smoke when they're in chase, right?
Yeah. Ryan
So
Downey has that. He's got the cooling thing too.
right. So what happens is this top little port is where you put a hose on. It looks silly. I don't know why they made it oval because all of the
Okay.
adapters are round.
They're round.
The round
Yeah.
adapter, the round adapter still fits on here, but it just you have to shove it on a little extra hard.
Okay.
So when we start talking about helmets like this, it's all about the options. So like the interior of this thing is super plush. It's super nice to wear. It's got forced air. It's got comms. It's got drink tubes. It's got cooling. It's got Hans devices. The retention mechanisms change between all the helmets. So like this has a singular button that you push on it to open the helmet.
Right.
Um, where Bell has probably my least favorite, although it's changing. So for Bell, you have to get your thumb underneath of it and pry it
Yeah.
open. Um, a rye.
I can't
I don't,
I can't
I
actually
don't feel like
remember
talking
what
about
I have. Yeah, I do. What is it? Race something.
it. Race quit.
What's the one with the Yes, that's what my
Yep.
helmet is. I It's a
Okay.
marketplace find when I first got into doing the media for drifting. I drove all the way to Delaware for a $40 helmet because it was a $200 helmet online.
I mean, that's a win, though. Oh,
Right?
shit. Okay. Another helmet. Since we're talking about retention mechanisms,
Okay.
um, this is my favorite of all of them. This is the Arai. It's got this
Hmm.
little lever on it. It just is so easy when you have gloves on to
Yeah,
reach up there and feel this thing. Of course, it's not going to
sure.
do it because I said how easy it is. Yeah, this is by far one of my favorites as far as retention goes.
I'm
Yeah.
notorious for just putting glasses on and leaving my shield up because I fucking hate the shield with a passion. Talk about feeling claustrophobic. It's like my least favorite thing. I don't
So
mind
that's
the
all
full
right.
face helmet. I don't mind the full face helmet because I understand the debate between full face versus open face is debris, essentially.
Right.
Whatever could potentially come flying at your face, like you just never know. It's PPE essentially. But
Right.
I struggle with the shield. It Your breath is coming back at you, like all of the things, and like there's no airflow, and like that's just me.
So no, but you're right. And so like when we look at this helmet, because it's a forced air helmet, doesn't have a lot of vents. Has
Okay.
honestly, I think of all my helmets, it has the least, which is silly to say. It's got
Right,
these
but it's
two little
because
guys
it
right in the
has
front.
the attachment that's going to blow the air through, though, so
Right.
you have what you need,
It's really designed to
technically.
be worn as a forced air helmet to make it cool and to get the most out of it. So for this guy, it's got
Right.
these two little vents right here that help for fogging on the visor and getting a little bit under your
Okay.
mouth. But if we
Yeah.
look at this Arai helmet, so Arai helmet does a way better job of it. So the
Okay.
Arai helmet's got the same two, and then it's got two more that duct onto your forehead, and then it's got two more that exhaust out of the back of the helmet to get the hair to
Okay.
get the airflow moving. And when you
Airflow.
open these, yeah, when you get these all the liners out of these helmets, there's channels that run along all of it, so that when the air comes in here and here, it comes out of the back. It's literally like intake and exhaust on the car to get air
See,
moving.
I thought Arai only did motorcycle helmets. I didn't realize they did race helmets too.
They, in my opinion, are, as far as fiberglass helmets go, they are the best fiberglass helmet
Okay.
manufacturer on the planet. There is no
Okay.
one that does fiberglass helmets like Arai. I, I, they're almost, they're almost comparable in weight to their carbon. They
Okay.
exceed all of the velocity and acceleration tests as far as impact testing. Yeah. So this is what I wore for years karting. Um,
Okay.
and it's, yeah, it's hit the ground a couple times. But I'm a firm believer in Arai. I love Arai. I just started wearing carbon helmets, and like another one here. Let's just keep doing it. Let's just go around the room.
Let's just go around the room. I like it. So it's
What's
interesting. Since we have this change on the helmets, I had been
mhm.
on the fence about I've always wanted to like decorate my helmets, and a lot of people put their stickers and stuff on, and I was like,
Right?
you know what, maybe I should just take one of the events and just have a bunch of drivers just sign my helmet. But I was
Sure.
torn between Dorycon and DoD, and now I'm like, well, if my helmet's aged out, then I can just have two helmets. I can have one signed at Dorycon, and I can have the brand new one signed at
Right.
DoD.
Right. See, and like this, I don't throw them away. Like so, at some level, they all kind of have like
Yeah,
sentimental value. 'Cause everybody asks, "Hey, what do you do with your old helmets?" I don't know. Hopefully, you did something cool in that bitch, and you can like
you're
throw it
damn
on a shelf,
straight.
and it'll
Damn
give you a cool
straight.
memory. Like I have my daughter's first race helmet sitting up there from when she started
Uh-huh.
racing go-karts and like stuff like that, right? Like, hopefully they bring you
Yep.
good memories, and it's not all bad memories.
Right.
Another brand people don't realize do auto helmets is HJC, and they think
You know,
HJC for motorcycle.
they do, and a lot of people are like, ugh, like they're really snobby about HJC too.
I don't know why. This is a great HJC helmet.
Mhm.
Um, so
What's the
yeah,
thing hanging off the side?
right. So this is what I was
Is that
gonna
your
say
comm?
is right. So we talked about why that Pininfarina is so nice because it's got integrated comms. This is kind of what it looks like when you just start shoving comms equipment on the side of the helmet. This is
Okay.
back in the day. So once upon a time, we would drill into helmets and we would rivet the equipment on the side of it. You can't do that anymore. That like instantly makes the helmet not certified anymore. They get really pissed
Sure,
off about
sure.
that. But once upon a time, we used to drill them in like hell. Once upon a time, when I first started selling helmets, we still had to drill the hole for the Hans device. So we would have to take it and
Jeez.
measure, and we'd have to drill all the holes and put a steel
Okay.
backing plate in the back, and that's how we installed Hans devices. Now all the helmets come with M6 anchors pre-built into the
Okay.
helmet so that you can put head and neck restraints. But yeah, so like yeah, that's what the comms are all about. And this guy, yeah, that's the 2010 was the last time this thing saw the racetrack. Um,
Okay.
right. So yeah, and when we talk about other comms, like if you wanted to run, not that I don't think a lot of drifters run comms because you're only in there for a moment. But for people
I
that
think the
are
only time I was gonna say I think the only time comms come into play for drifting is competitions.
right when you have spotters and stuff, sure.
Yeah.
And then yeah, absolutely. And that's like when you look at some of the other helmets that don't have it integrated, you could still put the comms in. It's
Yeah.
literally a standalone wire harness. It's just a universal fit harness, and we pull the
I will
interior out and
say
we'll put it in for you.
I will say too, though, I don't know if Brew is still on, but Brew, when I first started riding with him, his extra helmet, he actually had a comm system set up in his and the passenger helmet so that he
Hmm.
could have a conversation with the passenger without the whole like yelling back and forth. But for the
Yeah,
life of
sure.
us, it would work and then it wouldn't work and then it would work and then it wouldn't work. And we finally just said, we're done. It's fine. We're
Right.
just going to yell at each other.
We'll just scream at each other. It's all right.
Exactly. All right. Is there anything else we need to know about helmets, or do we want to move on to gloves?
No, I think we move on to gloves. I think the last thing we say is a lot of people don't realize that you can get tinted visors for your automotive helmets. Get tinted visors.
Sure.
They fucking look cool, and you don't have to wear sunglasses.
Mine came with the tinted and the clear.
Right. Yeah. So I swap back and forth. I run. This one usually has a super dark helmet, super dark visor on. It's got a clear one because I was doing
Mm-hmm.
uh, fueling as a crew guy in the dark.
Okay.
But I run super dark for the daytime, or I run these little like bougie prismatic
I
ones
like those.
because they're kind of cool looking, right? Um, or I run amber or yellow when it's raining or cloudy outside because it really boosts the
Fair.
contrast on everything and you can
Fair.
see everything. So like in rainy
Okay.
events with a yellow visor, that's the one. I
Okay.
very rarely run the only time I run a clear, yeah, the only time I run a clear is if I'm doing cruise shit and it's like at night and we're at a track that doesn't have a lot of lights. Because when you're
I think that's
manipulating stuff, you just can't see it.
yeah, I think that's why I leave the clear one on and wear glasses so that if I need to make the adjustment, then I don't have to like drag the visor with me and I don't have to swap the visor out. I just toss the glasses in the helmet and just call it a day if I need it.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So, last thing we'll talk about because we didn't is for people that
Okay.
wear glasses. Some
Okay.
helmets are a little better for people that wear glasses. Like this Arai is it's not good. It sucks to wear glasses with because it's got this little tiny ass eye port. So by the time you get
Okay.
any glasses of size in there, it's really hard to get glasses in. But like this Bell, it literally has cuts in the liner right here so that you can sneak
Okay.
glasses up in there. My computer's turned off, so we've lost some light here. Um,
Okay. I see what you're
yeah, so
saying.
it's got this little groove right here, so you can actually get your glasses in and out of there without it being a problem. So if you do
Brew,
wear
remember that.
glasses, yeah, right. So if you do wear glasses, or if you're filming with the meta glasses, like be mindful when you're buying your helmet, bring them, try them on with the helmet
Yeah.
because they all fit a little different.
Well, so that's kind of why I like the clear visor is because I don't actually like the way the camera from the Meta glasses looks through the visor. So that's why I usually leave the visor up. But then
Sure.
my eyes are protected. Plus, I have the transition lenses, so then I have sunglasses as well, and I can use the camera. So it's kind of like covering all of your bases, I guess. Hi,
Right.
Ethan. All right.
Yeah. What
So
do you want to get on to next? You want to do
let
gloves?
let's do gloves next. Let's talk about gloves.
Yeah, we'll do one other thing first. Balaclava. Just wear a damn
Oh, okay.
balaclava. Just wear one. They're not expensive. Get a decent one. Don't spend $30 on one. Spend like $60 on one and get one that's sort of nice. But just get one because it really makes your helmet last a little longer. It makes the interior of your helmet last longer, especially if you're like, not for the ladies, but for me, like this scruffy shit tears the fuck out of the inside of a helmet. So putting a balaclava on just makes your helmet last a little bit longer. It keeps it a little bit
Now,
nicer.
what's the balaclava made out of, though? Because that looked like a
Nomex.
nylon.
Nope, this one's
Nomex. What is
Nomex.
that?
So Nomex is a fire resistant material. That's what all the suits and stuff are going to be made out of. This
Okay.
is just a really thin one. It's Track Gear. It's a company that no longer exists, unfortunately.
Okay.
But it is. I have a little hidden stash of them because they're, in my opinion, still the best. But they couldn't make the business model work for them because
Aw.
all they made was underwear. It was the only thing they made, and there's only so
Okay.
much of a demand for just underwear. But their underwear was like the best.
Okay. I gotcha. All right. Well, then
Um,
I guess we're finally on to gloves then.
let's do gloves. So you see people wearing anything and everything for gloves. Shit, you'll see people not wear gloves. And that's, personal preference. They're the first reason why I say you should wear gloves, and that should probably be after the helmet, your first piece of kit, is because you might just have to deal with fire. And if you have to deal with fire, it'd be nice if your hands don't get fucking burned, right? So, and I mean this
Yeah.
in a couple different ways, right? It might not just be driving. You might go flick your hood open, grab your fire extinguisher, and need to go extinguish a fire. It sure would still be nice to have a little extra protection on your hands. So it's not
Sure.
just about the driving, like it's as far like it is for the driving, but there's more to it. And like we're climbing out of the car, if the front of the car is on fire and we have fire coming over the windscreen, and we're reaching on the A pillar to get out of the car, your fucking hand's gonna get hot, right? So like even if we're not going full suit and we're not going full Nomex, I still think the gloves are a good option. I think it's a good
Yeah.
thing for like just for anything, right? Like we work, fuck, gardeners wear gloves, so why shouldn't racers, right?
Right.
Um, now, what kind of gloves should you wear? not a nylon glove. Again, don't wear a karting glove. Um, you'll see it a lot because we sell karting gloves, and like it's a karting glove, it's a race glove. They fucking look the same, except
Yeah.
for this dude is made out of nylon. It's made to stretch, it's made to breathe, but that bitch will melt to you. And it
Yeah.
just will. And the reason a lot of guys will start buying karting gloves instead of automotive gloves is because this karting glove is like $120. Its Nomex counterpart is like $240. They look the same, they act the same, but they're not the same material. Shit, honestly, the karting glove is more comfortable to wear until you catch on fire. And
Right.
that's just the unfortunate part of it. So don't buy a karting glove. Don't cheap out on it. You know, buy the Nomex glove that fits within your budget. And that's it, man. So the glove certifications are mostly going to be SFI and FIA, just like the suits. They also
Okay.
don't really expire. I think if we look at there might be an expiration date. Yeah, there is. So for the FIA, it's going to be 10 years also. This guy expires in 33. And again, in the U.S., it's conditional based. As long as there's not holes on them, they're not falling apart, it's not really an issue, right? It's not
Right.
it's not a problem. Then nobody's gonna get upset by that. And then
Now,
go
what are
ahead.
the bells and I was gonna say, what are the bells and whistles of gloves? Because I'm sure
Right.
there's gloves that do different tasks, if you will.
For sure. So that's going to be the term it fits like a glove, right? Go try them on. They all fit different.
Sure.
I like Alpine Star. Alpine Star doesn't fit me that great. I don't know
Okay.
what the body was built for Alpine Star, but this is not my little stumpy
Was not
ass.
yours.
So I wear Sparko. I wear Sparko
Okay.
just about everything because Sparko fits me the best.
Okay.
That being said, the biggest things that you're going to start noticing is going to be the construction of the glove. So you're going to see internally stitched and externally stitched. So this guy is an internally stitched glove, meaning that all the way around the fingers, all
I
the
see.
stitching is on the inside of the glove. Where if we look at this one, all of the stitching is on the outside of the finger. Okay.
Okay. I've seen
What does
those
that
too.
mean? It means when we clamp
Comfort
down on the
wise.
steering wheel, right, when we're holding the wheel tight, all of a sudden we don't have as many pressure points between our fingertips. So we can hold the wheel a little bit tighter. We don't have pressure points. It feels better. The other thing is we can usually run a little bit tighter of a glove because we don't have so much seams on the inside. So we can
Okay.
run a more snug glove, something that helps with dexterity's sake and keeps everything nice and tight because of the externally stitched. It is just more comfortable. It's funny because you start looking at gloves and you'll be like, wow, the more expensive gloves get, the shittier they look. They're all frayed. They kind of look like trash, but there's a reason for it, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then so next thing you're gonna see is this guy's got a little Velcro closure on it. So you put it
Mm-hmm.
on, wrap it around, closed. The way of 2025 and most modern new gloves now, it's going to be this elastic, right? So they're elastic
Mm-hmm.
fit. You just pull them on and they stay on. It's user preference. We still have a lot of people that like the Velcro closure because it makes
Sure.
getting the glove on easier, arguably, because
Mm-hmm.
you're not having to push through 3 or 4 layers of elastic. You can just slide on and then put the Velcro on. So,
Especially when you're
but again,
sweaty.
right. So 100% that because gloves are terrible to get on and off when your hands are sweaty.
Yeah.
From there, it's going to be the grip. It's going to be what are we actually holding on to stuff with? So this is going to be like the most basic, right? It's a leather palm.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a suede material. It's the one thing that's nice about it is so like a suede material on a leather wheel for drifting or for things where you're letting the wheel slide around in your hands. It slides really nice. So the leather against leather allows you to like just slip the wheel through your hand really easily. Where some of the silicones kind of catch up a little bit and you have to be very diligent about popping your hands off, letting it go, and then grabbing it back.
Right.
But that being said, the silicone offers so much more grip advantage on everything. It just, you don't actually have to hold everything as tight because of the advantage of the grip. So when we look at like silicone grips, so this is going to be like the mid tier. This is going to be all printed on here and it's all silicone. And what's nice about it is it works on a variety of materials. So where the suede works, so the suede is the absolute best on an Alcantara wheel. That's where you get the most grip. These work well on leather, they work well on Alcantara, they work good on the aluminum shifter, they work good on the handbrake, they work good on the car. They do a
Okay.
really good job of gripping everything because of that. So for a lot of like the mid tier, so from like 120 to like $180, you're going to see a lot of this kind of material, right? You're going to see it printed on silicone.
Okay.
And then at the top end of gloves, we're talking like the 200 plus gloves, like the F1 gloves, all the nicest stuff. It's going to be this 3D, and we'll see if we can't get it in here so you can see it a little bit. It's going to be 3D, right? So there's these little, Sparko calls them volcanoes, and they're shaped like little tiny silicone volcanoes.
Hmm.
And what happens is they hold everything. There is nothing that they don't hold well. Like, and there's a little bit of shock absorption there, so you don't get a lot of like vibration from the wheel. They're by far the best gloves out there.
Okay.
There's no material that when you go to grab, they don't feel well on. And it sounds silly because you're like, ah, what, everything's vibrating, but like just having a little bit of a barrier from that silicone between your hand and the wheel, it really does do a good job of kind of mitigating all your hand fatigue and making your hands feel better for a longer duration.
Okay.
So if the budget allows, a glove with 3D silicone is a game changer. I think everybody
Um,
should try it at least once. And that's going to be the main things there. Like everything else, one other thing I guess is gloves can be pre-curved because we don't walk around with our hands straight out like this. We're holding the steering wheel. So like we look at this, it's a more entry level set of gloves. The fingers are very straight. There's nothing exciting going on. They're just little nubs. Or if we look at this, all these fingers are pre-curved so that
mhm.
when you wrap around the steering wheel, it's not pulling on the material in any way because it's really designed to be held in that fist formation. So it's just more comfortable. It's just another thing that they do. Like, so another thing we didn't actually talk about on suits. Some suits you'll see are pre-curved, like the sleeves are
Okay.
pre-curved, the legs are a
I've
little
seen that.
pre-curved, right? And it's just the way that it's all
Motorcycle suits
sewn.
are very designed like that usually, right?
Motorcycle suits are like the best way to explain what pre-curve. That's why they walk through the paddock looking like fucking gorillas because they can't stand up straight, right? Because the suits are
Yeah.
so fucking restrictive. So like looking at a MotoGP racer is like the definition of a pre-curve suit.
Yeah, that's fair. I've seen that.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much gloves. Like
Okay.
if you can get to a place to try a bunch of gloves on, I think you should. It's definitely
Okay.
advantageous to do so because they all fit differently. Like I said, I like Alpine Star. I obviously like Alpine Star, but for me, most Sparko things fit the best. The
Okay.
only difference there is I like Alpine Star shoes, and I wear mostly exclusively Alpine Star shoes unless I'm doing something with Sparko and they really want me to wear Sparko shoes.
Got it. Got it. So, all right. Well, then that takes us to shoes.
Right. So let's run through shoes. What's the difference between your Nike and a race shoe? Fire resistance is going to be the main thing, and there's a whole variety. Let's start with like a driving specific shoe. So like this is just a driving shoe, right? This is designed to try and help you heel toe. It's designed to be thin so that you can work a pedal box easy. It's got a decent sole. These are kind of cool. If you look at it, it's actually the same. So it's a Michelin tread. Michelin makes the
Okay.
sole for it, and it's the same tread as their GP rain tire. Kind of
Okay.
neat. Um, so this is not a certified shoe. This is strictly a driving shoe. So this versus
Fair.
your Vans, your New Balances, your Nike is no different, other than the fact that it's got a rigid sole and it's got and the reason like a rigid sole is good. So when you're really bearing, this is more of a race thing and a drift thing. When you're bearing down on the brake pedal, it's nice to have a stiff sole. So when you're really shoving the brake pedal to the firewall, it's nice to have something strong to stand on. So
Fair.
you could do if you're not wearing a suit, don't fuck around. Just wear whatever feels good. Like if your Vans feel good, wear your Vans. If you want a slightly more dedicated race shoe or driving shoe, you could do something like a chicane. I like them. I wear them a lot. I wear them just to go for a walk because they're so comfortable. But then we can get into a certified shoe, and I like these a lot. These look like a Van skate shoe,
Hmm.
but they are
Jimmy
certified.
says DC shoes.
Right. You can wear DC shoes. That's fine. I think that so that's why Sparko made these because
Yeah,
there was a want for like a skater style FIA shoe.
yeah.
Um, I rock the shit out of these things. I think Brew wears these things to the office, which still makes me laugh all the time. Um, but yeah, so these are hella comfortable. They have nice soles. They're thick. You can walk around them all day. They work on a skateboard. Like it's fine. I enjoy these. I've got a couple pairs of them. This is actually the only pair of Sparko shoes I have because when they came out with these, I was like, I gotta get that one. So it's called the
Right.
Sparko Futura. Um, I like them a lot. As far as a race shoe, it's not a fucking race shoe except for the fact that it's no mechs and it's fire resistant. Everything else about it, it's a skate shoe.
Okay.
Um, and then if we want to go like full purpose built race shoe, that's where I go Alpine Star.
Okay.
So it's got super thin. Yeah, see, he works at DOT. It's a flex. Hey, that's fine. You do you, boo. So these when we look at these, it's got a crazy thin sole, right? So you can
Yeah.
really feel everything you're doing. But the fact that it's thin, it's still super hard, right? It's a really
Okay.
rigid piece of rubber. Um, and of all the shoes that I've worn, I like an Alpine Star race shoe. I They're the thinnest, they're the most comfortable, they last the longest. I like the lace system more. So lace system is just like any other set of shoes, right? There's a couple different options. Like you could have your traditional laces, or you could have something that is a little more sophisticated, which is like a quick lace system like this,
Okay.
where you just pull it tight, and
Right.
right, it's like you grab it, cinch it up, and it's on. I like that.
Yeah,
I
because I
like how
mean,
easy that is.
you're not wearing those everywhere at the track. You're only tossing
No,
those on when you're getting in and out of the car.
right. Right, and so that's another thing is right. That's something we should say is there's like a misconception that I should be able to wear this shoe all day around on the paddock and it's going to hold up to that. It is not for that. It's not for walking around.
No.
It's not for walking miles. It's for doing fancy little dances on the pedals. That's all it's for,
Yep.
right? Like that,
Yep.
they they will wear out if you just walk around with them because like I mean fuck again, that's the soul. It's the little tiny boy. It's not for walking around.
It's like wearing
Um,
bowling shoes.
right. But yeah, don't do that. It is a
Yeah.
specific shoe for something. Another reason I like the Alpine Star shoes is if you look at them, the laces are offset. So when you clamp
Okay.
them down super tight on your foot, it doesn't actually cut off any circulation because the way that it goes down the side of your foot, you can clamp them
Okay.
on super tight and they feel better when they're real tight. So I am a big fan of Alpine Star shoes. That being said, when it comes to a race shoe, it's all about the fact that it's fire resistant. Fire resistant and then
Yeah.
thin, because thin
And
lets
comfortable.
you do more pedal stuff and comfortable, right? Um, so I think it's important, right? I For me, it's Alpine Star. For you, it might be Sparko, it might be Sawbelt, it might be OMP. Yeah, it just depends. I think you should try them all on. Uh, and if we're talking about comfort, if we're talking about like the best, I don't have a pair of their race shoes yet. But Chicane also makes dedicated race shoes, and their
Okay.
race shoes are phenomenally comfortable. They are we'll do a little talk on these guys. They used to own a company called Obo's Hiking Shoes. They were originally an outdoor shoe, so they have these
Okay.
amazing insoles that were designed for backcountry hiking for 1,000 miles. And they took all that and they put it into a race shoe, and they're the only race shoe manufacturer that has an insole that is built like anything of use. So like we can yank
Okay.
this guy out of here just because we can fanboy over it for a quick second. Um, so when you pull this insole out, first off, they got these little crew guys on there because they want to make it fun. But it's got a lot of structure to it, right? So they went above and beyond with the insoles and all of their race shoes to try
Hmm.
and create a really nice shoe. Like the Alpine Star shoe, if you pull the insole out of it, it is just a little tiny piece of foam
Flat.
that lives in there. It is
Yeah.
nothing special at all. Where all of the chicane shoes come with these insoles, and it makes them all day comfortable. Like I said, I don't have a pair of their race shoes yet. I've got like a half a dozen pair of their casual shoes. But yeah, as far as ratios go, they're kind of a win. But again, man, like if you can get somewhere and you can try a bunch of them on, that's the win because they are all a little bit
Yeah.
different,
Well, I
and
mean,
it's
at this point, it sounds like I'm just gonna come spend a whole day with you over
right,
energy
right,
racing.
and that's what's cool about the showroom is you can come and just try out. Like we stock all this stuff, but we have fucking something stupid like 28,000 items, just individual items in stock, right? So like, just come try it on, and it's all driver stuff. Like it's all for what
Yeah,
we do. So yeah, I would be amazed if we couldn't find something that you really like.
right, right. No, that's fair. Okay. Well, considering we're at the 2 hour mark, does anybody have any questions so that I can let TJ go to bed? Because I'm sure we're slowly going to start losing people too.
That's all right. That's okay. I feel like we had a nice little ramble on that.
We did. I mean, I'm glad we went through more than just the fire suits, honestly. We went through some of the safety stuff because, like I said, the whole like cotton versus nylon, like I never even like that didn't even cross my brain.
Sure. No, it's just you don't think about it sometimes, and it's not
No.
like it's just not what we do. Like we as humans don't spend a lot of time trying to mitigate our fire risk.
Yeah, well, exactly. And that I think that's the thing that, it kind of always comes back to is, even with some of the tracks and stuff that we go to, not everybody wears a fire suit because I would love to know what the actual statistics on something catching fire are because we see tires catch on fire and, occasionally an engine does something weird. Rob Bruce asked, would you recommend the Futura for super flat feet?
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. So, what I would say is if you like the way a Vans feels, or you like the way that a traditional skate shoe feels, you're gonna like the Futura. So it's I rock like I said, I rock them a lot. I will say I don't have super flat feet, and that is actually where my downfall is when I wear them like in the paddock all day. Is there's not a lot of arch support. But yeah, like if you like a traditional skate shoe, it's hard to go wrong with that shit, man. The Futura is great.
Now, could you add support though? Like, could you just add like an insert into them to make them more comfortable?
So technically, no. So all right, actually, technically, yes, you could.
Okay.
Certification wise, no, because
Okay.
because who knows
You're
what it's made
changing the
out of, right?
product. Yeah, yeah, you're changing the product.
Right,
I got it.
right. So like when we look at the race shoes, the reason I did pull the insoles out of the Alpine Stars is because they're all glued in, right? You can't actually
Okay.
take the insoles out because you're not supposed to be able to change them from the way that they went through certification process. Could you stick an
Okay.
insole on in top there and just not tell anybody? Fuck yeah, you could. Of course, absolutely.
Sure.
Not a problem at all. Um, but they do intentionally make it hard to do in the race shoes because there's just you're not supposed to be able to.
Now, Rob, I don't know if you've been on for the entire live. Shoes were just the last thing that we talked about. I know you do more drag than anything else. Do you have questions about like any safety gear at all? Because I don't know if you've listened to everything or not. Um, but yeah, there's definitely. I remember talking to Ryan Downey about fire suits because we were talking about the fact that Summit Point, if you're doing tandem, the passenger has to have it as well. Because that's the only reason I technically need one is because of
Right,
Summit Point, and I'm there so often um, because it's one of my local tracks, probably my main local track at this point, that in Shenandoah. His point on it, which I liked from a driver's perspective, which again wasn't exactly what I thought of, is the fire suit for him is like when the oxygen mask would come down from an airplane. Those aren't his words, they're mine. Allows him to get to the passenger because the passenger may have never been in a 5-point harness before. The
right,
passenger may not know how to get out of it. They might not know how to get out of the car at that point, but it allows him to be able to get to the fire extinguisher or to the person to be able to handle the situation so that hopefully they never even have to be bothered by if a fire happens.
right. And so I totally agree with that, right? Because so drifting is one of the as shit. It's the only Yeah, a little bit in rally, but most of the time, with you have a co-driver, you have an experienced co-driver that has an idea what's going on. In rally, because we have so many spectators, we have so many fans, we're putting so many inexperienced people in cars. We, as drivers, as support crew, we need to be able to help people get in and out of cars. It's
Yeah,
vitally important, right? Because fuck, a lot of people, this is the first time they've ever touched a harness. This is the first time they've ever crawled over a roll cage. Might be the first time they ever put a helmet on. So
right.
if a big fireball erupts in front of them, you better believe there is going to be panic ensuing, right? And you need
Yeah,
to, it's your responsibility to be able to help them get out and mitigate their risk because that's all we need is to have passengers get hurt because that's how we start getting a bad name for things, right?
yeah. Rob says he's a huge Sparco fan, going to invest in some pre-curved because he has a throttle grip. Great info.
So on that, do you, is the throttle for your thumb? Is that, are you talking like for on your drag car? Because what you'll see is for some of them, they're pre-curved, and what you can have is you can have, I don't have one here. Um, the thumb a lot of times will be an actually this guy. He's a hybrid. So the thumb is not externally stitched, so that you have more thumb dexterity, so that you have more control over steering wheel buttons, other buttons that you might hold, line lock buttons, things like that. So you'll have all of the fingers, the other four fingers will be externally stitched, but the thumb will still be internally stitched, so that you get good dexterity. That's something to look at when you're checking them out.
Okay. All right, we'll give him a minute to respond, and then we'll call it.
Dig it. I dig it. Thank you for having me on. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I learned so much, and I don't even drive. Or I should say, I don't race. I drive. I don't
Right,
race.
right. I get it.
Holding wrenches and hammers, my veins relocated, fully straight, my fingers go numb with no circulation.
Carpal tunnel's a bitch, man. I just had surgery last year for both on both my hands for that shit. Yeah, carpal tunnel's a bitch. You should go get that surgery.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time because I wasn't sure how long we would spend on this, but this actually worked out really well, and I think it's a good resource. So I'll probably
Right.
toss this one. Probably toss this one. I need to start tossing all of these up on YouTube, and I keep looking at it going, I need to do that, and I haven't done it. But this was a really, really, really informative one. I dig it.
Nice. Cool. I appreciate that. Yes, it was a great time. I think it was should be super informative for people.
All right. Thank you, TJ. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a great night, guys.
Bye, guys.